5.
Former President Noynoy Aquino was laid to rest on Saturday, and Filipinos continue to troop to his final resting place and former residents to honor him. The US FDA has added a warning about the risk of heart inflammation to Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. But an infectious disease expert says this shouldn't be a cause of concern for Filipinos. Cebu's hotels are now adopting a so-called multi-use model to help its industry recover from the economic crisis brought about by the pandemic. And check out the top 10 national costumes in this year's Binibining Pilipinas pageant. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Charles Lejano. Starting today's newscast with around 300 supporters visiting former President Noynoy Aquino's burial site on Sunday. Here's the story.
One day after the burial of former President Benigno Simeon Aquino III, some mourners came in early to visit his grave at the Manila Memorial Park in Parañaque. Authorities say that about 300 people came in to pay their respects to the late president on Sunday. Many brought yellow flowers while others lit candles and offered prayers for PNOY.
Pinagdarasal ko na apat na lang silang magkakapatid na naiwan na sana ipagpatuloy din pa rin nila yung natutunan nila sa kanilang magulang, diba? Yung daang matuwid, naging honest, at ang pagiging simple nila.
Some Aquino supporters also took photos at the burial site of the Aquinos and recalled the legacy of the Aquino family as public servants. Others even traveled all the way from Bulacan and nearby provinces just to see where former President Noynoy Aquino now lies.
Talagang naniniwala ako na yung pangako niya na daang matuwid, yun talaga yung tumatak sa akin. Kasi nakita natin kung saan tayo nagmula noong 2010 at kung paano tayo iniwan. So talagang naramdaman namin yon na kami bilang mga ordinaryong mamamayang Pilipino.
Authorities say that the public is welcome to visit the tomb of former President Noynoy Aquino at the Manila Memorial Park from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Some police officers are also deployed around the area to ensure peace and order.
Supporters continue to flock the residence of former President Noynoy Aquino at Times Street in Quezon City, even a day following his burial. Lino Lavario with a report.
Benigno Aquino III may have been laid to his final rest on Saturday, but mourners are still dropping by his house in Quezon City to pay tribute to him. Some people tied yellow ribbons and took selfies in front of the gate where yellow flowers are lined up outside. One man took a yellow ribbon and tied it on a post. The Yatco family, clad in yellow outfits, even brought a bouquet of flowers to leave outside the house. RJ Yatco explained that they did the same when former President Cory Aquino died. He added that he wanted to teach his young kids about the things former President Aquino has done for the country. Meanwhile, the Lim family wanted to visit the public viewing for the former president but couldn't. So they took the time to drop by his former residence to honor PNOY.
We wanted to honor PNOY for everything that he's done for the country. He did a lot. He was a man of integrity and decency as well. So, I mean, if you read all of the articles, you will see that all of the indices, all of the KPIs of the country then was really good. GDP was very good, everything, and so on and so forth. And we'd like to honor the man who led this country during that time. We wanted to honor him.
Courier rider Gregorio Sisio also took the time to visit the home of his idol.
Malungkot man dahil iniidolo ko siya mabuting presidente si Noynoy Aquino, mabait siya. Matulungin po siya. Tsaka po malinis po ang record po niya. Doon lang ako bilib sa kanya.
With the former president's funeral rites close to the public, some supporters even went all the way from Caloocan to visit Noynoy's home and pay homage to him. The security manning the gates of Time Street said there's still no advice if there will be some restrictions as to when the public can enter to pay tribute to the late president. For News 5, Lynn Olivario, We Are One News.
In other news, former NTF advisor and cardiologist Tony Leachon downplays reports of some vaccinees experiencing heart inflammation after receiving Pfizer and Moderna shots in the U.S. Leachon explained that experiencing inflammation of parts of the heart are rare side effects from the two U.S. vaccine brands. That's because only 1,200 people have experienced this condition in America out of the 300 million doses that the country has already rolled out. For Leachon, this means that the benefits of getting the shots still outweigh the possible threat of those severe reactions.
Myocarditis is basically an inflammation of the muscle of the heart, and pericarditis is inflammation of the covering of the heart. In my understanding, the myocarditis and the pericarditis is only a small fraction of the whole adverse events of the patients, and I think this quality vaccine should be continued because of the tremendous need of the population right now.
Cebu hotels are now being used for both quarantine and tourist bookings as they aim to fast-track the recovery of the local industry. Dale De Vera with the details.
Janet Sacote can now finally return to her hometown of Agusan del Sur after being quarantined for 10 days in a hotel in Cebu City. Janet resigned from her job as a domestic helper in Lebanon, not only due to the worsening economic crisis in the Middle Eastern country, but because she has been longing to be with her sick father.
Ang tagal ko nang nag-abroad, tapos I think ayokong umuwi ng Pilipinas na isa sa kanila hindi ko maabutan.
Janet stayed in the hotel with other arriving overseas Filipinos and tourists coming from within and outside Cebu. This comes after Cebu hotels started adopting what they call the multi-use model to help the local industry recover faster from the crisis. Only those who tested negative upon arrival at the airport will be admitted, while passengers who tested positive will be quarantined in a local government facility. Hotels are also planning to increase the number of available rooms to 5,000 from 3,900. 19 hotels in Cebu are now approved to implement the multi-use model, while 9 more hotels have pending application. However, the hotel group is hoping that OWA would raise the payment for the accommodations of returning overseas Filipinos to up to 3,000 pesos per day. Currently, the agency is paying 2,000 to 2,500 pesos daily for hotels to accommodate returning OFs. The group claims that the amount is just half of their pre-pandemic room rates. That's despite their added costs, such as protective equipment and paying for food and lodging of in-house employees.
If you would like for the hotels to help our incoming OWA, or we call it the overseas workers, is that please increase the rates, because through this you will have more arrivals, you will have more rooms available for them. And of course, before they used to get a lot of complaints because of what can you feed of 1,400 pesos. No, talagang makikita mo yung pagkain, talagang nirereklamo, sinusuka ng mga overseas workers. So because of that, they realized that it's time for them to really improve on the rate.
For its part, OWA is still studying the proposal of the hotel group given the threat of the more infectious Delta variant.
Arrival cap kasi is also, it's not just yung volume ng OFWs in hotels, but also yung health protocol, health situation. We have heard in the last few days, yung mga DOH experts, the DOH talking about the Delta variant. So factor din yun going into determining yung quota, yung 2,000 arrival. But having said that, yung recent pronouncement ng IATF, malinaw naman doon, lalo na sa mga countries who were affected by the travel ban, UAE, Oman, India, etc., na hindi kailangan bilangin sa travel quota yung mass repatriation from those countries.
For those planning to go on a vacation to Cebu, look for the safety seal of your accommodation to ensure that it's safe even if it serves as a quarantine hotel. For News 5, Dale De Vera, We Are One News.
A local chief executive is convinced that it's not yet time for Metro Manila's quarantine protocols to be relaxed. Faith Del Mundo tells us why.
NCR is not yet ready for relaxation of quarantine restrictions. That's according to Navotas City Mayor Toby Chanco speaking at the Laging Handa public briefing. This even as Navotas has logged only 41 active cases in the city. Chanco says the health department and other health experts have yet to release any data that supports any modification of the current quarantine protocols to a lighter one.
Wala pa po ako nakikitang datos magmula sa DOH o sa ating mga health experts dahil ito po ay isang health issue. Kailangan po natin makita yung datos.
Meanwhile, vaccination rollout for A4 and A5 priority group is still ongoing as long as there are available jobs. Chanco adds that since April, walk-ins have been allowed and those inoculated were given the freedom to choose their own vaccines and their preferred schedule. As of June 26, Philippines has logged almost 1.4 million confirmed cases, 1.3 of which have recovered, while over 24,000 have succumbed to COVID-19. For News 5, Faith Del Mundo, we are One News.
Binibining Pilipinas has announced the top 10 finalists who got the most votes for the national costume competition. The ones who made the cut include Cavite's Samantha Panlilio, whose national costume is a tribute to the 13 martyrs of Cavite. Bukawi Bulacan candidate Bianca Marcelo's Sarimanok-inspired costume also made it, along with Miss Cagayan de Oro, Cinderella Faye Obenita, whose costume represents the Cuyamis or golden coconut. The same goes for Miss Masbate's national costume, which is inspired by the Bulaklakan Festival. Also joining the top 10 are Miss Nueva Ecija Ruth Quinn's outfit, which pays homage to her hometown, also known as the Rice Granary of the Philippines, and Miss La Union Karina Carino's costume, which is a nod to the surfing capital of the North. Pampangas Zarina Giao in her banig-made costume, along with Angeles Pampangas Maria Francesca Taru in her costume inspired by the Angeles Lantern, a popular Christmas symbol from her hometown. Rounding out the list of the top 10 are Honey Grace Cartasano from Rizal, who donned a Maria Clara meets Gigantes Festival costume, and Leslie Ann Ticaro from Tagum City, whose national costume shows the rich culture of Mindanao's 11 tribes. Another round of voting will be opened to decide who among the qualifiers will win Best National Costume on the pageant's Grand Coronation Night. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again later at 10 a.m. as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.